he has had no real professional opponents other than Tommy Fury that were legitimate world-class boxers.
Do this, walk, run, boxing, defend it, eat, sleep.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit. And then eventually just deal with the fact that Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb and breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Joe Rogan and Oleksandr Usyk break down the fight and openly clown Jake Paul, exposing him as completely outclassed. Anthony Joshua's power, skill, and ring control dominate every moment, while Paul's hype and bravado are shattered. This makes it clear loud talkers collapse when real champions like Joshua show their mastery.
I say to this day, and I do it based on my reaction. Obviously, this is personal. I say it's the greatest knockout of all time. First time I ever stood up, I couldn't sit down. I was standing up. I was just like, oh!
I saw that. I saw you stand up. That's the first time I see it.
It was just...
Oleksandr Usyk ruthlessly exposes Jake Paul, showing how hollow his hype is compared to true champions. While Anthony Joshua's skill and Olympic pedigree dominate, Paul's attempts look childish. Every word shrinks his ego, humiliating him in front of the world and proving that talk alone cannot compete with real boxing mastery.
Months later, this guy again try and win. 3 months, not 4 years. But sometimes people, I know one guy who will be 3-time Olympic Games, not take medal. Not bronze, not silver, not gold. But this guy 5-time win world champion. This guy say, hey listen, I can give, this is 5 medal, to take only 1 bronze medal Olympic Games. Bronze. It's Olympic Games.
Anthony Joshua makes it clear that Jake Paul tried to script the fight, hoping to manipulate the outcome. Joshua refused, showing he cannot be bought or controlled. This moment exposes Paul's desperation and hollow bravado. Fans witnessed Joshua's integrity and dominance, proving that real champions fight on skill and heart, not hype. Paul's ego took a massive hit, as the world saw that no social media clout can override real ring experience and raw heavyweight power.
The only thing I would dictate on is me wanting to do more. So that's probably the only thing I'll ever ask him to do. Oh, can we do one more round on this? Can we do one more round on that? Like, I'm not dictating writing out a program like at 8 o'clock at night when I should be in bed resting. It's like people just talk a lot of shit about me.
Dana White highlights just how exposed Jake Paul was against Anthony Joshua. Attempting to compete with a true heavyweight was pure fantasy. Joshua's size, power, and technique made Paul look tiny and fragile. Dana's remarks underline that hype cannot mask lack of skill. Every punch he absorbed shattered his confidence, while Joshua's dominance reinforced his rightful position as a 2-time heavyweight champion. Paul's ego is in ruins, and fans saw the harsh reality of stepping up without real experience.
Burnt bridge with my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your the same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fought.
Anthony Joshua admits it wasn't a perfect fight, but the mission was clear: dominate and break Jake Paul. His precision, power, and patience ensured the right hand landed exactly where it mattered. Paul's ego and bravado crumbled under Joshua's relentless control. Fans saw the masterclass, realizing hype cannot survive against the disciplined, powerful, and strategic champion. Joshua left Paul exposed, humiliated, and reminded the world why he's a true heavyweight legend.
Appreciate everyone in this venue. Now, you asked me a question. Look, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best. The end goal was to get Jake Paul, pin him down, and hurt him. That has been the request leading up, and that was on my mind. It took a bit longer than expected, but the right hand.
Usyk openly mocks Jake Paul, contrasting his fame-driven showmanship with Joshua's Olympic pedigree. Paul's hype and flashy lifestyle cannot compete with real skill and legacy. Fans saw the truth. Joshua embodies real boxing excellence, while Paul is a clumsy, overconfident showman. Every jab and every punch reminded the world why Paul's ego collapses when faced with a true champion. Usyk's laughter echoes the sentiment. Hype fades, skill dominates.
Joshua is Olympic champion. First Jake Paul, it's yeah, sportsman, YouTuber, yeah, showman. Rolls Royce, Fiat. Listen, it's true. Yeah.
Joe Rogan praises Anthony Joshua's relentless drive, highlighting how even with fame and fortune, Joshua stays focused and hungry. Jake Paul, by contrast, looks lost and hollow under the pressure. Rogan's point shows that money and hype do not equal skill. Fans witness Joshua's dominance, mental strength, and unshakable focus, while Paul's bravado crumbled in front of a true champion. The fight was a clear lesson in experience and preparation over loud talk and social media fame.
You know, like you would assume that wealth would take away your drive for
But it
competition.
hasn't, yeah.
It's a handful.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Tyson Fury's reaction sums up the devastation Jake Paul faced. Ending up in hospital against a true heavyweight like Anthony Joshua exposes every weakness, ego, and lack of skill. Fury's acknowledgement emphasizes that Joshua's power and precision are unmatched. Paul's bravado turned to pain, his hype reduced to nothing. Fans saw that crossing into the ring with a real champion ends illusions, leaving only harsh reality and shattered confidence.
Other than boxing, there's a lot of egos involved, if that makes sense. Like he said this, he said that, and I want this, I want that.
Seeing Jake Paul in hospital is the ultimate confirmation of how thoroughly Anthony Joshua dominated him. All the hype, the trash talk, the confidence evaporated in one brutal fight. Joshua's power, precision, and strategy left Paul humiliated and exposed. Fans now understand loudmouths crumble when faced with real skill. Paul's ego has been smashed, his bravado gone, and the world saw that social media fame cannot replace years of training, discipline, and sheer heavyweight experience. Joshua walked in, asserted his dominance, and left Paul counting the cost of overestimating himself.
What's up, guys? The day after the fight, got out of surgery a few hours ago. They put a plate in my jaw, wired it up. Hurts to talk, so I'm gonna keep it short. Took the L, respect to the man across from me.
Duke McKenzie perfectly sums up Jake Paul's downfall. Anthony Joshua didn't just win the fight, he obliterated Paul's arrogance and shattered his ego. Every punch and combination reminded the world why talk cannot replace skill. Paul's broken jaw is symbolic of his inflated hype being completely crushed. Fans witnessed a masterclass in dominance, showing that Joshua's patience, power, and precision are unmatched. The humiliation is complete, and Paul's status as a credible fighter is now questioned globally. Joshua's legacy grows, while Paul's bravado lies in ruins, making this fight a lesson in reality over illusion.
I'm glad Anthony Joshua did that to him, because now he won't be able to talk like he does. For a while, we won't listen to it.
Joe Rogan highlights the terrifying power Anthony Joshua brings to the ring. That single knockout blow left Jake Paul stunned and utterly exposed. Fans could see the full reality of Joshua's dominance. Paul's hype, social media bravado, and confidence all crumbled in an instant. The shock on Paul's face is proof that experience, power, and technique cannot be faked. Joshua's mastery of timing, precision, and brutal force shows why he remains untouchable in the heavyweight division. Every moment reinforced that loud talkers like Paul are hollow when faced with a true champion.
Stepping in as well. Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's right now. So they wipe off his gloves, but you look at him like he's really feeling it right now.
The brutal reality of Anthony Joshua's power is on full display here. Breaking Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places isn't just a victory, it's a complete demolition of his ego. Fans witnessed that hype cannot substitute skill, and Paul's overconfidence led to this humiliation. Joshua's precision and timing ensured Paul never had a chance. The X-ray confirms the severity of the knockout and Paul's vulnerability. This clip shows why Joshua is feared. Every punch has purpose, every move calculated, leaving loudmouths like Paul exposed and shattered in front of the world.
Joshua broke Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, and I'm about to show you the X-ray in a second, but firstly, let's watch the knockout. Right there, straight on the jaw, straight on the money. Even Jake Paul could not believe what happened. Jake Paul's jaw, you can see it is broken in 2 places.
Anthony Joshua shows respect for Jake Paul's stubbornness, but it doesn't hide the fact that Paul was outclassed. Despite his spirit, he had no answer for Joshua's power, size, and experience. Fans can see that heart alone cannot replace skill. Joshua's dominance is evident every second, and Paul's hype has been completely deflated. This fight reinforced that loud talkers crumble against real champions, and Joshua's legacy grows while Paul's credibility lies in ruins. Even with some resilience, Paul simply wasn't equipped to face a heavyweight like Joshua.
I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start, but as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best, and I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did.
Joseph Parker points out Joshua's strategic brilliance in breaking down Jake Paul. It wasn't instant destruction, it was methodical, calculated, and relentless. Paul's hype and bravado evaporated as Joshua chased him, landing punishing shots and showing the stark contrast between a real heavyweight and a social media fighter. Fans saw Paul's desperation, his ego crushed under every powerful strike. This was a masterclass in patience, strategy, and execution. Paul's illusion of toughness was dismantled, proving that talking big online does not equal ring intelligence. Joshua reminded the world why skill, power, and heart triumph over hype and bravado.
I thought Joshua did what he had to do. It took him a while to get it, but he had to break him down and chase him down and unleash his powerful shot.
Carl Froch perfectly exposes Jake Paul's inadequacy in the ring. Watching him swing wildly while Anthony Joshua methodically dismantled him shows the complete gap in skill. Paul's survival mode highlights that hype and confidence crumble against a real heavyweight. Fans witnessed Joshua's composure, power, and technique dominate every second, leaving Paul humiliated. Froch's blunt commentary reinforces that social media clout means nothing when faced with years of training, Olympic pedigree, and brutal ring experience. Paul's ego and overconfidence were shattered, leaving him exposed and irrelevant in real boxing. This fight was a stark lesson in reality versus illusion.
It's just a fucking piss take that this guy's in there with Anthony Joshua, swinging away, landing. What's he done? He's had 18 minutes and landed 2 shots, and he's gone on survival mode.
Eddie Hearn gives insight into Joshua's tactical patience. Jake Paul tried to use movement and holding tactics, but it wasn't enough against a disciplined heavyweight like Joshua. Every round highlighted Joshua's strategic dominance, precision, and calculated power. Paul's toughness didn't disguise the fact that he was outclassed. Fans saw him crumble, his ego and bravado obliterated by Joshua's relentless pursuit and devastating power. Hearn's analysis confirms that this was a masterclass in ring IQ, patience, and execution, proving that loud talkers like Paul cannot withstand the force and skill of a true 2-time heavyweight champion.
So yes, it took AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, and then he knocked him spark out and broke his jaw. It was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding.
Ariel Helwani captures the sheer terror Joshua brings to the ring. Every punch is a reminder of his size, skill, and deadly power. Jake Paul, despite his bravado, was completely outmatched. Fans could feel the tension and danger in every moment, witnessing Joshua's dominance firsthand. Paul's hype and confidence crumbled as he faced a true heavyweight with Olympic pedigree and knockout power. This fight reinforced that no social media fame or loudmouth bravado can withstand a champion of Joshua's caliber. Every strike was a statement, and Paul's exposure confirmed that hype alone is hollow when matched against real experience and power.
And every time he threw a punch, I like wince, because he's a big man and he's an incredible boxer and he's still in his prime. And he's got a very long reach, and he's got a lot of power in that right hand, and that left hook is terrifying as well, and so I thought it could end at any moment. And so because of that...
Vidal Riley emphasizes Joshua's growing influence beyond just winning fights. By defeating Jake Paul decisively, Joshua exposed Paul's hollow bravado and showed the world who the real champion is. Fans everywhere saw that hype cannot substitute skill, and Joshua's performance reinforced his legacy. This fight wasn't just about power, it was about credibility, dominance, and exposing charlatans. Paul's ego and inflated confidence were crushed, while Joshua gained respect, influence, and admiration. Fans now understand that Joshua dominates not only in the ring, but in perception, proving that true champions control both fights and narratives.
AJ's win today was the bread. AJ's win today was the exposure to more people. Even though he's mad famous, as we know, like, there's a community he hasn't touched, and I think he touched that community today.
The aftermath of Anthony Joshua's devastating victory over Jake Paul has left the boxing world in absolute awe. Every punch, every strategic move, every moment in the ring confirmed what fans already suspected. Jake Paul's hype and confidence were hollow, and loud talkers without real skill crumble when faced with a true champion. Anthony Joshua showcased not only his brutal power, but also his ring intelligence, patience, and Olympic-level pedigree, dismantling Paul's illusions of toughness. Paul tried to survive, tried to cling to his social media bravado, but it all evaporated under Joshua's relentless assault. Even seasoned analysts like Joe Rogan and Oleksandr Usyk openly mocked Paul, proving that the man's reputation as a fighter was a facade, a shadow of what real boxing demands. The fight also highlighted Joshua's mental dominance. While Paul relied on showmanship, Joshua executed a calculated, methodical destruction that left Paul broken, literally and figuratively. For fans, this was a statement fight. Skill beats hype, preparation beats cockiness, and legacy beats short-term fame. Looking ahead, if Oleksandr Usyk steps in next, we know who the real heavyweight elite is. But if Paul somehow tries to pull another stunt, the lesson is clear. Loudmouths don't survive in real boxing. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to continue dominating the heavyweight scene, or do you think Jake Paul can ever recover from this humiliation? Drop your thoughts below and join the debate.